education about asexuality, all things asexual, so I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. So yes, if you didn't already know, I've been in London yesterday and I didn't leave London till like 10:32 at night, so I didn't get back till 2 a.m. in the morning. So I'm going live now after the 2 a.m. way after the 2 a.m. I don't even know what time it is. Let me look at my Iron Man alarm clock. What time is it? Oh, it's now 3:17. That's backwards, but never mind. Anyway, so yes, I'm recording this in the early hours of the morning live. So I have a confession to make. I had to let someone go, and yeah, so basically, I think I told you the 21-year-old Indian guy, who I kissed back in May, he's been in contact with me, and recently he's been in contact with me by email. I blocked him on Facebook and I blocked him on my phone because as far as he made out, he was just interested in friends with benefits. I'm not interested in that. Like, basically a kissing hookup. And I'm really not interested in that. I enjoyed the kiss when I had it, but I already told him on the dating app that I was interested in a relationship, not hooking up. So yeah, anyway, he was in touch by email, but it wasn't good in the end. So basically, like, it felt good in some ways to be in contact with him again, but what happened is he told me that he is not ready for a relationship, and I would totally agree with that. He's not ready for a relationship. He's got a lot of work to do on himself, and he still wanted to see me, like he still wanted to see me though and kiss me, and so he wants a friends with benefits scenario basically. And the way he spoke to me, it's a bit like he thinks that's what I want or something. I'm like, why would I want that? I don't want a friends with benefits. So it's his right to say he doesn't want a relationship with me. It's fine. But it's my right to say there's absolutely no way I'm having a friends with benefits scenario. And he was trying to say in an email, oh, think about when we're 80 years old and, we don't want to have regrets, like, just get together and do blah, blah, blah. I said I'd have regrets if I was with a guy who didn't love me, and kissing's much better when you love someone. He's like, oh, no one can kiss you the way I do. I'm like, I've had a kiss with an Indian guy before him, which I did enjoy. And, when you kiss someone and you love them, it's so much better than just kissing. And, my friend was supposed to be coming with me to War of the Worlds. They couldn't make it. So I decided to message around to see if anyone would want their ticket. And my friend said to me, oh, probably a nice young Indian guy would be really good right now, or foreign guy. Or I think he said Indian guy. I think they said, sorry, Indian guy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. And I'm like, oh, well, the guy's contacted me again. So the guy asked me, the Indian guy, the 21-year-old, asked me if I would unblock him on Facebook, and I would unblock him on my phone. So I thought, okay. And he's like, oh, I'd go the extra mile for you, like, do anything. I thought, yeah, that's probably all talk, but we'll see. So anyway, I messaged him, and it was like 8 something in the morning. So it's usually a time when most people would be around. And so, yeah, basically he didn't even read my messages, like, and I know he could have been busy doing something, but he could have responded, and he has still. So basically, if he wanted me to unblock him on Facebook and unblock him on my phone, but he's not even going to reply to my text message on my phone, it's just ridiculous. I said to him, you didn't even, you basically ignored my text messages before for like a whole week, and this is really not the type of thing I want. Relationship, or what relationship, but not a relationship. One of those, like a person wants basically to do relationship stuff without being a relationship, non-committal. A guy has to understand that intimacy means you need to be committed, unless you just want a girl who sleeps around and has sex with loads of guys. I don't sleep around, I have sex, but most women that are not asexual, if they're just wanting to hook up, they'll be having sex with tons of different guys. Is that really what a guy wants in his body? Do you know what I mean? I get the impression that guys think because I like younger guys that I just like them for hooking up or something. That's not the case. I happen to be very aesthetically attracted to younger guys. I can't help that. I'm not really attracted usually to any guys near my birth certificate age. You know, I have to force myself to even be remotely interested in any guys my age usually or older birth certificate age. I'm just not attracted to them. You know, and when you're forcing yourself to do something, what's the fucking point? Excuse my language. There isn't, you know, it's just ridiculous. And so I want a younger guy, but to be in a proper, serious, committed relationship with, just like he would be if he was with a younger girl. You know what I mean? Like in birth certificate age, seems birth certificate age is such a issue. You know what I mean? And I just can't be doing with a guy who wants to creep around in secret and the only kissing he'll do is like in the dark place or where no one can see and all this bullshit. Excuse my language. I can't live like that. It's like living like a caged animal. It's like being like 5 years old. Oh, is anyone watching? It's ridiculous. I hate that. I absolutely can't stand it. It drives me nuts. You know? I hate secretive stuff. I hate I feel like some dirty little secret or something. It's disgusting. I do not do friends with benefits. It's very, very disgusting. It's using a woman. It's just hideous. I hate it, you know? Women are not some kind of commodity that you can just pick up and use as you please and put them down again. You know, like I don't think like he says, oh, I actually do care and like you. I don't get that at all. Caring people don't speak like that. I've got friends who truly love and care about me. They do not speak to me like he does or treat me like he does. You know what I mean? I feel more loved by my friends than any guy I've dated recently or in the past or whatever, really. I feel more loved by my friends. You know, they truly care. My best asexual friend who can come with me to all the worlds today, they were actually staying up till 2 a.m. in the morning to make sure I got home safely because I've been very worried about me because my power on my phone went at nearly 6:30 in London at night, and there's been train delays and everything. But I'm good at looking after myself, luckily, and very resourceful. I love London. I'm really good with tubes, and I really feel safe a lot of the time in London, the majority of the time. And I love London as a place. So because I love London so much, I'm quite chilled, even though it's quite it was really stressful though trying to get to the venue. I nearly didn't get there on time because the train was delayed and everything. Like, well, my train was cancelled, and then the next one was delayed by 20 minutes. They delayed me on the tube. It just delayed, and I couldn't get to the toilet on the train. It was absolutely packed in the aisle, so I had to go to the toilet in Paddington, and that just delayed me even more. But anyway, so getting back to this confession, right? I can't meet up with this guy again. Thanks, lots of love for the thumbs up. I can't meet up with this guy again because I had to confess something to me myself. I had to admit something to myself that I don't or didn't like admitting. And I told him I have feelings for him. Like, I only kissed him once back in May, right? But as he's been emailing me just a little bit, I've got stronger feelings for him. Like, the feelings like came on about tenfold, and it was really difficult. And yes, I had to work out. I like, whilst I was doing the immersive experience, when I went there, I was feeling really, really upset because I did text him and ask him if he did want to come to immersive experience with me, and he didn't even read the text. And tonight I've unblocked him briefly just to check, and he never read the text anyway. So what's the frigging point in asking me to unblock my phone if he's not even going to reply? It's just disgusting and rude and ignorant and disrespectful. Because I can see on my phone it says whether the person's read the messages or not, and even when I blocked him last time, it came up after he read them, like 7 days later, and I didn't block him straight away, so he could have had a chance to reply. After about 3 days, I think I just got fed up on like blocking you, mate. And so yeah, okay, so I'll go to the confession, right? So I was really, really upset because I know that I had to end even email contact with him because it just sends my anxiety through the roof. I cannot be seeing a guy who cannot make me feel secure and loved and cared for and respected, and he just wants to hook up in secret for God knows what. And I've told him he's not coming to my flat. You know, it's not a good guy who does this type of thing. You know, I don't like a guy who just wants secret stuff. It's not good. And it's not respectful, you know. And he even said to me, oh, well, it's inevitable, it's going to happen with me and you, whether you like it or not. I mean, how horrible is that? You shouldn't be doing anything that someone doesn't like, and it shouldn't be forced, and it shouldn't be like, it's not inevitable. I get to say whether a guy comes near me or not, or kisses me ever again, or sees me ever again. It's not about male entitlement. He's not entitled to my body or my lips, or for me to ever see him again. I do not want him in my flat. I don't have guys in my flat. The only time I've had guys in my flat is when I've had boyfriends in the past. Serious, committed boyfriends. Not a flaming guy who just wants a fling or whatever he wants. I don't know what he wants. But I worked out that his attachment style, as far as I understand, is avoidant. So that accounts for some of his behaviour. But I'm an anxious attachment style. An anxious and avoidant person do not get on, because an anxious person needs reassurance, security, reliability, to know where they stand. An avoidant person will just avoid like their feelings, will avoid their emotions, will avoid a relationship if they're in it, like avoid talking about it. They will avoid stuff. They also, I don't think he's emotionally available. I think he's an emotionally unavailable guy most of the time as well. So, you know, he's got a lot of work to do on himself if he actually ever does want a serious, committed relationship in the future, which he doesn't want that now anyway. But it's really like, you know, like life is a journey, and you can choose to just stay as you are, or you can prove yourself. If you really like someone, you'd be thinking, well, how can I make her life better? How can I be a better guy for herself and myself? But you have to do it for yourself, you know, you have to change. I literally listed out everything about my needs and said, you can't match any of them. Any of them. What have you got to give me? Absolutely nothing. You can't match any of them. You know, I blatantly spell it out to him, the type of guy I want. And he says our needs and desires are different. So, you know what I mean? How's that even going to work? And an anxious and avoidant person, it's impossible, because the anxious wants to get closer. The avoidant usually purposely goes away. I don't know if he's anxious. You can get a anxious avoidant person. You get a mixture of them. We can get complete avoidance. So, but yeah, I just like, I mean, attachment styles usually, you know, are given to everyone. Basically, attachment style is how you attach to people, how you relate to people. And it's often, you know, not you know, it's often when you're a child, and it's not your fault, you know, that you're like that. But when you realize and recognize what you are, you need to try and eliminate as many negatives about that attachment style as possible by working on yourself and through different difficult issues. And you need a respectful partner at the same time, but you need honest and open communication. But someone who's avoidant doesn't really want to communicate, you know. You can't have a relationship with someone, or even meeting up or whatever, if a person can't effectively communicate, you know. And so, you know, a person really needs to work on themselves to be a better version of themselves. And so with your attachment styles, it's not really your fault. It's like usually who your caregivers are, like your parents, for example, how they looked after you as a baby. Like when you're crying, did they attend to your needs? When you needed them, there for you? Were they there sometimes and not there for the other? You know, and you know, did they abandon you when you were crying and you needed them and stuff like this? And so this is how the attachment styles are formed usually. And you know, and it can be like, if it's not your parents looking after you, it can be other caregivers. But they can later on in life be, you know, if you've had really bad experiences or traumatic events, that can affect attachment style as well. So I've got an anxious attachment style. I've worked quite a lot on some of the like more negative sides of that. I've done really well on that actually. But you know, like I've actually got an generalized anxiety disorder as well. You know, I was born into trauma. I was like distressed baby. I had to have metal forceps put either side of my head and pull my head out. And I've always been anxious. It's never gonna totally change. Apart from, I have changed one thing, is I'm not socially anxious. I used to have really bad social anxiety, I would say, years ago, in the sense that I couldn't even be in a group. I couldn't walk up to a stranger and start talking to them in lots of ways. You know, I don't even remember being able to do that. I certainly couldn't be in groups. There's one-to-one only usually. Even me and two other people was usually too much, unless it was two guys, it was sometimes okay, like at college. And so, you know, like I have actually changed the social anxiety, and I used to be introverted, now I'm extroverted. So I have worked on quite a lot of that, and being secure in myself, self-reliant, taking good care of myself, loving myself. So rather than being dependent on people, I'm very self-dependent and self-reliant. Because an anxiously attached person usually is dependent on others. So yeah, you know, like when I'm single, I'm really good. In a relationship, it's more difficult, I find. You know, and I think a lot of it is because the person just like, I haven't realised about attachment styles until I started writing the Asexual Guide to Sex. I didn't really understand much about them. So it's really helped me understand my own attachment styles and other people. And that, you know, there's no way an anxiously attached person can be secure and happy and stable in a relationship with an avoidant person who doesn't want to talk about their emotions, doesn't want to talk about their feelings, doesn't want to address issues about themselves or about the relationship, doesn't, will avoid things. You can't do that. Like, one person is going to the person, the other person is going away from the person. It just doesn't work. It's a worse combination. It's just like not stable at all. And I need a guy who will make me feel really stable, secure, loved, happy, wanted, needed, taken care of. Like, he's not interested in other women. He just wants me. And, you know, he's really responsive to my messages, really wants to talk to me at many opportunities as possible. Video call, voice call, texting, you know, just really wants to know me as a person, really wants to be my best friend, not just like kissing, and who's got intelligent conversation, emotional connection with me, and all that lot. And there's no way the 21-year-old Indian guy can give me that. I mean, it's like, not at all. But he's got lots of work to do on himself, really. I can't, you know, like, say anything else on that. It's up to him, isn't it? If he wants to ignore what I say, or if he actually wants to do something about it. But you know, like, everyone should be looking to upgrade themselves. Everyone should be like looking to better themselves, become a better version of themselves, to understand. But most people aren't consciously aware. I'm very consciously aware of myself. And so this is why I've got more confessions to make. So I'm very consciously aware of myself and my feelings and emotions, and even the ones I don't want to experience. So I was really upset today because I did block him on the email. I said I'd had enough, I'm done, because he's just making my anxiety worse. There's nowhere, you know, like, if he's not going to bother to read my messages, that's just like not on. You know, especially as I plucked the courage up to even ask him to the event. I mean, of course he might have been busy. It was really short notice and I would have understood that, but he didn't even read the messages and obviously didn't respond. So he could have read it. If he really cared and really liked me, he'd be like, and I phoned him, you know. But if he's trying to do secret stuff, he's not going to want to answer his phone with his parents or siblings around, is he? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I can't live like that. It's just ridiculous. It's like being 5 years flaming old. It's like, I'm not 5 years old and neither's he. I mean, some guys who are 21 are really mature. I know an Indian guy who used to be quite active on this channel, 21 years old, and he like campaigns for LGBT rights. He does like a security job. He knows what type of relationship he wants. He's very good at sticking up for people. You know, he's helped a lot of LGBT plus people get into better situations. And he just like, you know, he's very, very different. He's like, you know, really old, so really mature, you know. So age for me is not the factor, it's the actual maturity level and the cohesion, is that right? And, you know, if they are able to like actually know what they want and have direction in their life, and, you know, have a really like strong outlook and know what they want and know who they are, you know. At 17 years old, I was in my first serious relationship, and that went on for quite some time. So some people do know what they want at a really young age. I would have probably still been with that guy had he not been horrible. You know, and I at that time I wanted marriage, you know. So yeah, I would probably, you know, if he'd have turned out to be a nice guy and everything was good, but it really, really, really was the opposite of that, he had like affair with a guy, affair with a woman in the end with a kid, and he was doing stuff with his mother naked, and oh my God. Yes, it's really bad. And he was physically abusive to me, as well as not good in other ways. But yeah, it's not good. It was really bad. But yeah, but had he not been like that, I probably would have like got married in the end and stuff. But anyway, he's gone out of my life now. So yeah, so anyway, in terms of confession, so I had to block. I felt like I needed to block this guy by email because I don't want him in my life. Try and convince me to meet up with him. I invited him to All the Worlds. He can't even bother to get back to me. I was really anxious about doing that because I thought, afterwards that if I invite him to that, he's going to think I just want to hook up. And it's not what I wanted, And so the confession I have to make is that I developed some love feelings for him. And I really didn't want to do that. And it's like, I was beating myself up about it, thinking, how can you have any love feelings for a 21-year-old Indian guy that you've only kissed once? Like, how is that even possible? And I was just like trying to deny them and trying to say you just can't have any feelings like that. But it just made the thing stronger, and denial was just not good when I'm like, it's not full-blown love, it's just some love feelings. And I'm like, and so when he talks about meeting up with me, I said, like, I can't do that. I want, it's much better when you love someone. So when I envisaged kissing him, I got the feeling that I would want to kiss him in a way in which I really loved him, and that I would want to like say I love you, and for him to say it back to me and mean it and be in a relationship together. That's kind of like what I visualize if I was doing that again, which is not going to happen because he doesn't want a relationship and I do not want friends with benefits. And so yeah, so I just thought, oh my God, I'm just visualizing this thinking, oh shit, excuse my language, like you have love feelings for a 21-year-old Indian guy who's clearly no good for you. And that was really, really upsetting to know that. And I thought, you've just got to block him out of your life on email as well. And that's really hard, just letting someone go when you know you have some love feelings for someone, even though you wish you didn't. And it's horrible. And so, I went through, even though I was going to the event, I kind of went through all the emotions throughout the day, different emotions. Like the first emotion was like really strong sense of like heart wrenching out of my chest or something, and really like distraught and hysterical feeling inside. I couldn't show this because I'm going to the train station and doing my day. And so I just felt really, really upset inside, and I had to go through it in my head and like feelings in my body and stuff. I just felt so upset. I'm like, and I was really beating myself up thinking, how can you do this? How can you let that happen? It's so bad. How could you do this? He's just 21 and he's no good for you. And how could you even have any love feelings whatsoever for this guy? What's the point? Like, and how could you let it happen? But you have to realize that we don't choose these feelings. They just happen. Well, especially when I'm a hyper romantic. So when I stopped beating myself up, I just had to tell myself like a coach and like a mother. And like, I just had to picture myself when I'm really hysterical inside, because I couldn't be. But if I'm at home now, I'd just be bursting into tears. And I just sort of being like a mum to myself and like stroking my hair and saying, everything's going to be all right, it's okay. I love you. Everything's going to be fine. Like, and I had to confess it to myself, my feelings for him. It was really hard to do that. But it's the only way I'm going to get over it. And then I experienced all the grief stuff and the upset, and then beating myself up and like, like, how could you have love things for a 21-year-old Indian guy you just kissed once? How is it even possible? But I'm a hyper romantic, so I just said to myself, you're a hyper romantic, Sandra. This is what happens to you. You loved two guys last year, both of which pretty much took 8 months to get over, which is the usual time for you. So I'm consciously aware of myself and know how this goes, but denying feelings and emotions is just no good for me. It just prolongs the agony and makes things worse and intensifies the situation. By talking about it, desensitizes it and it just makes it less intense. So when I stopped beating myself up, I was just like, I love you, Sandra. You're amazing. You're beautiful. And you've made the right decision to block him out of your life. He's no good for you. He just wants friends with benefits. He don't really care about you. And, he's just really no good for you. And I'm glad he gave me clarity and was honest about the fact he doesn't want a relationship. But at the same time, there is actually no way that I'm going to have a friends with benefits scenario, which is basically what he wants. He wants to have all the, kissing when he damn well feels like it, where he feels like it, without even regard for the fact of my feelings. Maybe he's devoid of emotions and can just use people or something. I don't know, but that's what it felt like. Being used for kissing and physical stuff, And so I don't know. I just glad that I made the right decision to go from his life. He's no good for me. He can't give me any stability or security at all. It just makes my anxiety levels shoot through the roof. It's a shame, because I can see me and him, if he was a different guy, if he was secure with me within himself and knew what he wants and it was me, I could just see us having so much fun together, go out to different places together, just cuddle on the train together, just if he was a different person. You can't be with someone because of their potential, oh, he's got the potential to be this guy, he's got the potential to, if we keep seeing each other, maybe he'll start holding my hand in public, maybe he'll do this, maybe I don't need that. I'm not 5 years old, and don't want to be a mother to a guy or a parent or a teacher. I want an equal person, and so that's no good. But obviously I visualize a completely different type of scenario where he loves me and he wants a proper relationship, and we go to theme parks, zoos, aquariums, even experience the day. We just have such a good time together, and we're cuddling on the train and we're kissing and he's stroking my hair on the train, all this stuff. So the visualization I have is completely different. And it was so interesting on the train because there was even an older couple that was a guy was kissing the woman on the train and stroking her hair, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so nice. So older guys can actually do that as well by the look of it. You usually see more younger guys doing that. But yeah, so I'm just happy for people who that. I'm happy for people who found true love, It's precious. People should hang on to it. So yeah, anyway, he watches my videos on his channel, so I guess he'll see this video, but doesn't seem he really cares anyway. If you can't even bother to read my message. If you like someone and care about them, you'd be wanting to open their messages as soon as possible, to make sure they're okay and everything. You should care about the welfare, but he doesn't seem to care about my welfare at all, It just seems to care for an opportunity to meet up again with me, to kiss me, and that seems about all he wants, It's not what I want. But it's been really hard to admit these love feelings for him. It's really difficult, that's not what I want to feel, but I've had to admit them in order to go through the grieving process, the upset and pain and heartache. Because when I was going to the experience, some of it later on, I was thinking, oh, if only he was with me, and if only we were a couple here, and oh my god, it was awful in that way. The experience wasn't awful, but thinking stuff like that, and it's oh, I really didn't want to think it, but I just thought you're hyper romantic, Sandra. He's lucky he even got to kiss you. He's saying, oh, no one can kiss you the way I do. But I mean, that works both ways. Does he think he's going to get the same experience with every woman he's going to kiss after he's kissed me? I'm good at kissing myself, and if I'd have been in a relationship with him, I would have kissed him even more. But I'm not. It's never going to happen. So yeah, and he's not ready. I totally agree. He's not ready for a relationship. It's far from it. But he's not even able. He wouldn't even be able to do friends with benefits. Not that I want that. Can't even read his text. Because that's what a lot of women do. That no doubt they arrange it through text. But yeah, so. It was hard, but I just keep saying to myself, you deserve better, Sandra. There's absolutely no way he deserves to be in your life. excuse me, if he's, you know, can't even read your text. You don't want that type of guy in your life, you know. You can do so much better. And even being on my own is so much better. I just can't be bothered with it. There was another Indian guy as well who I met through Facebook dating, and he just stopped talking to me for a while. And I spoke to him because I thought he messaged him because I thought this guy lived in London, but he doesn't. He lives in another area of the UK, and so he said he had the day off tomorrow, and if I stayed in London a night, which I couldn't do, then you meet me the next day. I said, it's going to be too expensive to do that. I said, but you can come to my city tomorrow. He's like, oh, yeah, when I finish work, I'll let you know and I'll phone you. But I said, my phone's about to die. He's like, oh, I'll message you. He never messaged me. And he never even told me where he wants to come or not. Never even bothered. So I've just blocked him now. I'm fed up. You know, if guys don't care about me, there's no point in caring about them. I just block them. That's on Facebook. I thought we could have been friends, me and him, but clearly not. It's like guys clearly can't be friends. They just want to hook up, you know? I thought about trying Tinder because it's got an asexual category, because I'd rather have an asexual guy, but if I was getting into a relationship, he's not asexual, a 21-year-old Indian guy. But yeah, so that doesn't really bother me so much if they don't pressurize you for sex and stuff. Well, I'm not sure he could live without sex forever, even though he said he could, because he's very very sexual, heterosexual. Hypersexual, probably. Oh, horny guy, you know. But yeah, he's very respectful when we actually did kiss. Really respectful. I really liked that about him. I did appreciate that. I like the fact he did come and see me a long way. But yeah, that was basically the best bit. But yeah, obviously, other than kiss. But yeah, so I've had to go through all the grieving process, confession of feelings, and letting him go in one day. It's been quite hard for me. You know, like admitting you have love feelings for someone you didn't want to have love feelings for is a really big deal. But instead of like hating myself and giving myself a hard time, I don't, I did do that at the beginning, but I just don't do that anymore, because what's the point? It is what it is. Shit happens, excuse my language. I didn't expect it to happen. I didn't mean that to happen. But this is why I can't do casual relationships or hookups. Not that I want to do hookups anyway, because I just get attached. I get feelings. I have emotions. I'm an empathetic person. I feel other people, I can't just be doing casual stuff. Miniature Mist. Oh, lots of love. I love your name. So yeah, I was saying in this video that I have confessions to make, and that's that the 21-year-old Indian guy that I don't know how much you've seen in this live stream, but yeah, I've had some love things develop for him. So there's no way I want to see him again when he doesn't want a relationship, which is fine, but he wants to hook up for kissing and friends with benefits and stuff, and I'm not doing that, It's not what I want, especially when you develop some feelings for someone like that. It's just horrible. I don't want to be used. Oh, you see, yeah. So, yeah, I just blocked him now on email. I had him blocked on my phone, on Facebook. He asked me to block him on those two. I blocked him on my phone. Doesn't even read my messages. What's the point? I don't need someone who makes me anxious like that, If they're not going to bother with me, it's no point, Or bother with me just when they feel like it. It's horrible. That's not someone who cares about you and has your welfare at heart. So I felt disappointed in myself for having these feelings about him when I didn't mean to. And I was hoping that would never happen, but it has. So I just have to face the fact it happened and deal with it and just give myself time to get over it. But I feel better already for admitting it to myself and for just thinking, well, you're a hyper romantic, these things happen. The most important thing is you love yourself and you leave behind a guy who's no good for you, whatever feelings you have for him, because he can't be a good guy for me, I deserve so much better. But yeah, I'm still fed up with dating in general. I thought about trying Tinder because it has got an asexual category. I said that a few minutes ago, but I haven't done it yet because I'm on a dating app detox, and I prefer to be myself a lot of the time at the moment. You know, I don't want all this rubbish on the dating sites of hooking up, of people not really caring about other people, just being about physical stuff. You know, maybe I should like. Well, Indian guys are my top attraction. That's a problem. I think my soulmate's Indian since 2014, but maybe I should see what it's like to date someone who's like from France or somewhere. I don't know. It's like, it's very difficult, you know, because there's no point in forcing yourself to do something just for the sake of it. But, you know, and for me, it's really hard because I do like younger guys. I need a guy who's really strong, who likes you know, who likes a older, younger girl. You know, I mean, all my cuddly toys and stuff. My bedroom looks like it's 15 years old. Like, it looks like someone who's 15 years old lives in my bedroom, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so it's been really difficult to admit all these feelings and know that the guy is no good for me. So I've had to let him go, and I've made the right choice and decision because it's not good for me at all. But yeah, it's a shame because I saw potential in him. I thought he could be good at talking to me if he wanted to be, but you know, that's the whole thing in it. It shouldn't be if he wants to be. It should be consistent, persistent, and nice and good all the time. But yeah. So yeah, that's a confession I had to make, really. I did really give myself a hard time for feeling that way, but now I don't. I just think, well, you didn't mean it to happen. It happened. You didn't plan it that way. You just got to deal with it. He's lucky you even felt that way about him. And you know, he's not about like basically hooking up for kissing and doing that type of thing. And like, oh, you know, do you want to you know, live in the moment, basically have no regrets and so on. And I'm like, I would regret that because I would regret like continuing to see someone and a hookup basis when it's just wasting time because I can find a guy who really is going to truly love and care for me, or I'd rather be by myself. Don't be too hard on yourself. I believe you'll find the right guy who's truly asexual one day. Oh, thank you. He wasn't asexual. I know that. He never pretended he was asexual, but there are other guys I've had that have pretended they're asexual in the past, or could be asexual. I had it recently, actually, different Indian guy. But the 21-year-old Indian guy never pretended he's asexual. He was honest about that, which is good. I just don't trust him, you know, like, because he's like, you know, can avoid. So 1 minute hear me talking to me quite a bit, the next minute it's just like avoiding me. And you can't be like in a relationship or even really in a friendship with anyone like that, because it's not how you effectively communicate, and it's not good, you know what I mean? You can't work with that, you know? So it's like really difficult, but I just think I'm better off on my own, doing my own life stuff. And I just get sick of it on the dating apps of people not really caring about others. It's like, I can't not be a caring person. Even if a guy's not right for me, I can't, you know, like, if I felt anything towards him, I can't be a horrible person. I can't not care. You know, like, I can't not give a shit, if you know what I mean. It's like, you know, if I care about them, if I like them, if I've spoke to them for a bit, you know, and got to know them, it's like, but they just don't even want to meet up as friends, a lot of them. It's just like hook up or nothing. It's like, what is going on with that? But I found out something very interesting recently, because if you watch the beginning of this video, I said that the 21-year-old is avoidant attachment style as far as I've worked out. And I was on a traditional dating coach's YouTube channel. He's very good though. He's very very advanced. And he said that most of the people on dating sites are actually avoidant attachment style, which, if you're anxiously attached person like I am, is the worst possible thing for you, which it is. And he said, and the reason they're on, loads of them are on these dating apps, is because they're avoiding getting into an actual committed relationship, because they're avoidant attachment, which is why I definitely think he's avoidant. you know, because these type of people, they get scared of commitment, scared of like well, scared of a lot of things, really scared of feeling anything for someone, and they just rather avoid things, you know. It's not good. But yeah, so the dating coach was saying, you know, watch out for this, because that's why they're on there. A lot of the avoidance is because they're avoiding getting into serious committed relationships. That's why they're doing the hookups. And if you are an anxious, detached person and you're looking for a serious relationship, it's not going to be good for you. And I didn't even like register that before he said it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so that's the danger, you know. Like, I'm gonna end up going, you know, like meeting a lot of these types of guys, you know, the ones that are avoidant, and it's not healthy to be avoidant. You know, when you're avoiding your feelings and emotions and in denial, it's one of the worst things you can possibly be. You can't work to improve yourself. You can't work to improve a relationship. You can't work to improve a friendship. You can't do anything if you're just denying the actual truth or the circumstance or avoiding it. You know, it's just not healthy situation to be in. So yeah, so that makes quite a lot of sense as to why so many guys are on the dating app. And I was surprised at how many NHS National Health Service in the UK are actually on Bumble, for example, and just want casual sex. I was just like, really? You know, you come from a caring profession supposed to, and it's like, clearly you don't care what goes in your body. It's like, if I worked for the NHS, I used to actually, as a peer trainer, but if I worked for them, like, I'd be really like thinking about hygiene and stuff, not hooking up. But maybe they do it because their work is like difficult or something. They just think, oh, I just want release, sexual release or something. I don't know, but they're very weird to me. It's like you're working a caring profession, and you know, hygiene's supposed to be really good, and like you're going around just like basically having sex with loads of different women, and that's totally unhygienic and just it's like, where has the surgeon's hands been when they're seeing you? Or even examining you, or even putting a hand on your shoulder, or stethoscope to your chest. That's a really morbid, horrible thought. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm on the bed and my legs are a bit restless tonight because I've not even slept after I come back from London yet. So yeah, so it's been an interesting live stream, you know. It's been interesting and difficult confessing feelings I had for this guy. But yeah, as a hyper romantic, unfortunately, I do get love feelings for guys. I wished I hadn't, and they can come on quite quickly. And it's really difficult, you know, and I have to just accept it, because giving myself a hard time just makes things intensify. It makes the feelings worse. It makes them more stronger. And I don't want that. I want to desensitize myself. I want to dilute the feelings. So by actually accepting it and just thinking, you know, like just treating myself like my best friend and my mum, my treat like pretending I'm my own mum and just stroking my hair, saying, you know, you'll be fine. You're gonna be all right. You've made the right decision. I know you're really upset now, but you're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be good. You made a really good decision for yourself. You know, I love myself more than I love kissing. You know, I do love myself more than that. You know, and it's important that I look after my emotional needs and health. And there's no way I want to be meeting up with a guy, having these feelings for him, knowing that I just get more and more attached and more upset that he doesn't feel the same way, but yet still expects and wants me to be physical with him. It's not good. It's really not good for me, or any woman, to be quite honest, in my opinion. Or any person, you know. People have feelings, but this guy doesn't seem to have that many feelings in terms of like caring and like actually thinking, this is Sandra's got feelings, she's got emotions, like she's hurting. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to hurt her feelings even more by continuing to see her and kiss her and stuff for my own gratification and pleasure? You know what I mean? It's just not good. You know, if he doesn't want a serious relationship, or if he doesn't want a relationship, that's fine, I accept that. But you can't then turn around and expect someone, the same person, to like go around being intimate with you when you feel like it on your terms and stuff like that. It's just not good. But yeah, I wish him well in his life. Maybe he'll watch my videos properly one day and actually think, oh, it's got a lot of relationship advice in here. Maybe I'll become a better guy for the next girl or whatever, you know? But yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. It's what it is, isn't it? You can't change someone, and you know, you shouldn't want to change them. But if you notice there's things about them that aren't good for you, then, and you know they're avoiding certain things and they really do need to change themselves in terms of being better at communication and better at caring about people and stuff, then you can't do anything until they realize they've got to do that themselves, which may take a long time. Then there's nothing you can do. You just have to let them go from your life, and you just have to know that's better for them and better for you, because you know, if you just give in to them getting physical with you and not committing to you, it's just like using you and being disrespectful, and it's not really self-love, it's just more like self-loath and self-abuse, because it's like you're allowing someone to use you for physical stuff, knowing full well they don't actually care that much, they don't want to be committed to you, they couldn't care less that much about your feelings. Because obviously I'm going to get hurt. I don't want to get hurt. I said to them in the email that I'd be worried if I met up with you and kissed you, that I would end up loving you deeply. But obviously I already have some love things that I didn't realise that were buried for this person. Well, they came out on quickly recently, and I tried to bury them, I tried to deny them, but yeah, they'll go quicker this time, I think, because I know, because they haven't read my texts, that they are not good for me, you know, and they don't care apart from when it suits them. And so, yeah, it's not good. But I still, you know, the actual time I kissed them that day, I still had a great time. I'm not going to go back on that or take that back or anything. I'm glad I did it. And I was who I was. I didn't have like these types of feelings. Um, because I was purposely trying to not have them, I guess, and restrain myself more in terms of feelings and emotions. And I tried not to feel that way, I guess. But now I know I definitely do feel something like this. It's not going to be good for me to continue or carry on seeing them, or even to carry on talking to them. It's just going to prolong the agony. And I can't be anxiety induced. You know, with anxiety, it's like you don't know what a person wants. You know, unless they can give you some security and where you stand and all the rest of it, it's just no good for an anxious person. It's just the opposite of what you need. So always remember that you need to put yourself first and your own emotions, and you need to take care of you as number one priority and not let people use you, you know? I mean, why would he want a girl who like does that type of thing, you know? It's just not good, really. And you know, if you're with a girl who actually respects and cares about herself and is like, no, I'm not gonna be doing friends with benefit stuff, it reflects much better on the guy that she's not gonna be sleeping around or getting off with kissing with loads of different guys and stuff. It's actually like, you know, but if the guy wants if he wants a type of non-committal friends with benefits, that person who does the friends with benefits is probably going to be doing it to a lot of guys. Is that really what the guy wants? Maybe he genuinely doesn't care. Maybe he doesn't give a toss, probably. But, you know, I would. You know, but there you go. Because I care and I have feelings for people, emotions. But some people are just like quite emotionless, aren't they, really? And I can't be with an emotionless guy either. So, you know, I need to get a good guy for me or just stay single. I'm just really sick of dating lately. I just had enough of it. I think I'm better off on my own because I can take care of myself better. I love myself more, not hurt myself. And, you know, and I'm sick of people trying to use me for physical stuff, even hooking up for kissing. The amount of guys I've had for hooking up for kissing, like, it's like, it seems to be an assumption that I'm just going to invite them to my flat and kiss them. It's like, so no, I'm asexual and I'm not hooking up for kissing. I'm not hooking up for sex. They seem to think because I put in my profile I love kissing but not sex. That's what I want, but that's in a relationship. I'm saying these things because I'm on a dating app for a serious relationship, not for playing around. You know what I mean? It's just weird that they take me the complete wrong way for some reason. But then I guess that's what's on their mind. It's a reflection on them, really, not me. You know, but I can't make it more clearer than I hate all types of sex. And on Bumble, I put even, you know, like, as me having social anxiety, I'm wary when it comes to dating. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's just like, you know, it's just very bad. Especially when you have feelings for someone and all they want to do is hook up with you. You know, it's like, do they not care? Can they not have any emotions? Can they not feel your pain? Can they not feel hurt? Can they not understand you're going to get attached to them? Like, the more someone gets physical, the more attached they get because it releases hormones and chemicals and stuff. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this guy will ever change and would be the guy I would want him to be. I doubt he would ever do that. So I guess he's just going to find some other woman later on. And maybe, you know, like, that's great because if he, you know, it texts her and loves her and wants to spend time with her and sees her, he doesn't feel that way about me, that's fine and good, you know. But if he's avoidant anyway, he's probably going to have a problem with lots of women because he's just going to avoid things. You know, it's not going to be a healthy relationship or healthy connection, really. It's not going to be good. So I really think he should do something about that. But that's just my opinion. You know, you can't tell someone what to do. But, you know, like, it's weird because he said he watches this channel, like, all the time, all my videos. And it's like, well, but then he acts like he don't really, like, he acts quite emotionless. It's very bizarre. You know, but like, if he watches all my videos, I think that's pretty, maybe it's infatuation. I don't know what it is. But, you know, maybe in years to come, he will actually regret the fact that he doesn't or didn't want a serious committed relationship with me and he just wanted to hook up, and he'll be thinking, oh, he'll always go back to thinking about me and actually deciding, well, I regret the fact now that I treat her the way I did and some other guys got her. And you know, she's the one that I kissed and felt something with, and I've been with other women now and I've realised that they're not good for me and I can't feel the way I do with them as I do with Sandra. You know, it could happen to him. I'm not saying it's going to. Maybe, you know, I'm just totally not right for him and he'll find someone else who he can connect with and care about and love and correspond with and phone and message and audio call and want to go on dates and kiss and cuddle and hold hands, all that type of thing. Maybe we'll find some other person like that, you know. And so that's fine if he does, you know. But, you know, he's saying, well, what about, like, he's basically saying about having a casual, like, hookup type of, like, friends with benefits, basically, he was saying, without actually using those terms. And, you know, it's like, it's just weird. Because he couldn't do the proper friends with benefits anyway, because they don't like kissing in public or holding hands and stuff. It's like, you know, and I don't have a guy back to my flat. It's just like, yeah, strange. But, you know, it's heterosexuals for you, isn't it? They're a very strange breed. It's like, oh, God. It's like speaking an alien language, which is quite interesting considering I've visited all of the worlds. You know, so, yeah, it's just weird. But, you know, like, it's all about, oh, you know, I don't want to have regrets at 80 years old that we didn't, like, meet up and saw each other again, all the rest of it, you know, wouldn't you? It's like, well, no, I would have more regrets, like, being with someone who doesn't love me. And there's other guys out there who can. But, you know, he might regret it the other way, that he was non-committal, which he could, you know, and that he might have actually enjoyed a relationship with me. And he might look back at 80 years old thinking, oh, remember that first girl I ever truly kissed? She's with someone else now, and I never forget kissing her, and I always wished I could be with her. You know, it could work that way, you know. And when he was saying, oh, you'll never get anyone to kiss me like you'll never get anyone to kiss you like I do. I mean, I said it's better with someone you love, you know, much better. kissing someone. I much prefer kissing someone, because I had that in the past. I was in a serious long-term committed relationship. The guy was no good for me then, but I did at the time felt loved, and and it was just so much better. You can relax a lot more when you're in a secure committed relationship. You know that you're definitely together, and you can just do even more like adventurous with the kissing and stuff. At one point, he was all about me meeting up, kissing his chest. It's like, I don't do that outside of a relationship, only inside a relationship, But it's weird, because if he watches my channel, he's still been contacting me for like 2 months. To me, that would be more than just liking someone. It would be like I had another Indian guy, tell me once that he said, "Oh, if a guy truly loves a woman, he will never leave her life. He will always find ways to keep contacting her," which is what he does. But yeah, he doesn't love me, so it makes no sense. And him watching all my channel videos, it's like, well, why are you doing that if you don't really care? And then if you care, why are you pretending or acting like you don't? Very, very bizarre. People are bizarre. It makes no sense. But I think he just keeps hoping that I'll meet up for kissing again, and that's it, and that's all he wants. And that's like really not what I want at all. And it's just like not good. Not good. I've developed feelings for him, but it's good in a way. I've developed feelings. I say it's no good, but it is good in a way, because I know to stop now seeing him. That's strange. Yeah, it's really strange. If a guy's watching this YouTube channel, he's saying, I'm watching all your videos. I didn't even know he was doing that until he emailed me recently. And it's like, well, if you don't like someone that much, if you're not really into them, if you don't love them, why are you obsessively watching their videos? I only know guys who are really into women that do that type of thing usually. I don't understand it else. And it's nice that he's watching my asexual channel. Is he actually paying any attention though, like of the relationship stuff? IKR, it's really weird. Like, guys who usually love women, or maybe it's just infatuation, but they kind of like can't stop themselves, because they feel like they need to be in the person's life, even if they're not seeing or speaking to the person. And usually I saw their infatuation or more love, but he doesn't love me, so it's weird. It's really bizarre. So he'll hear this video about what I have to say. Obviously, he might have a different opinion, but he told me he saw my other videos, and that he does like and care about me, even though he comes across as he doesn't. But then anyone who's trying to get a kissing hookup would say that type of thing anyway, just to get the kissing hookup, wouldn't they? So I have no idea. It's all really weird. But then if he's an avoidant attachment style, an usually avoidant attachment style, they do really want love from the person. They do really want to be cared for, but they just avoid it. It's like a kid that pushes their parents away or pushes someone away. I used to actually be like that though. My parents said when I was a kid I used to push them away, so I don't really understand that. But you can get but well, I do understand it in some way to do with attachment styles, but it's weird that I'm an anxiously attached person and was doing that. Because an anxiously attached person needs someone more to be close to them and with them. So yeah, but if you've had, I'm not saying they are like this because it was years ago, but if you get parents that sometimes are really full on kind of taking care of the kid and being there for it, and then sometimes maybe not, then it can create an imbalance within the kid, so that they become like attached and avoidant at the same time, and it can cause ups and downs. It's kind of strange. Attachment styles are very interesting, especially because I've only learnt about them really this year, and it sheds a lot of light on the way I am and the way other people are, and I can usually work out what people are now, quite easily and quickly a lot of the time. But yeah, it's a shame that I have love things for this guy. It's like, how the hell did that happen? He doesn't deserve them. He really doesn't. And it's not good. It's really not. But what can I do? I just have to I think, well, it's not good, but it's good in a way that you realise soon, because this way you can get less hurt, because this way you can let him go from your life for him to find someone else who he does want to spend time with in a less sexual hooking up way. But maybe he's not going to be that type of guy. Maybe he's just going to, if he's really an avoidant attachment, he might just like be the type of person that goes through his whole life just wanting casual relationships. I think it's a waste of life doing that. Absolute frigging waste of life. It's much better to be brave and bold and love someone than it is to just avoid all the time, because the people who avoid, they still want love, really, and they just keep pushing people away till the person goes away, and then they're like, oh well, so it confirmed my fears. If I get too close to someone, then they're going to leave me anyway, so I just push them away and avoid them to stop getting hurt. And they create their own self-fulfilling prophecy. Whereas if they'd actually said, okay, I love you, I want to try a relationship with you, I want to try dating with you, I want to be with you, you know, explain your needs, explain how you see this working, you know, and let's try it. And yeah, I do have things for you. It ain't easy, I'm scared, whatever, but I still want to give us a go, you know what I mean? It's just strange. You know, it's just very, very weird. People are very strange. It's just that you know, like, behavior doesn't always match up to what people say, and you know, it's just hard when you have feelings for someone and they either don't reciprocate or don't treat you well and are no good for you. But you just have to like let them go. You know, at the end of the day, all you can do is let them go, and then in a few years' time, if they've actually worked on themselves and come back and say, look, I treated you like really badly, I'm so sorry, I was an idiot, and you know, I've realized that this was wrong with the way I was, and I've really done this and this to improve it, and they show you actual evidence, not just talk of that, and they've really changed. Then you know, sometimes if they, you know, end up like years later meeting again, and they got different, you know, they're both in the same more life stage, so they both want something serious, then it could, you know, potentially work out if the person's really worked on themselves. But like when they emailed me again, because I blocked them on Facebook and the phone, you know, I said, nothing's really changed, has it? You know, it's like, why contact me again when nothing's changed? You know, like, you can't match my needs. And there's so many needs I have, you don't match any of them, you know? So what's the point? But it's a shame, because I see potential in them. I see the fact that they could be really good with me. They could be a really good friend. They could chat to me really well. We could get on really well. But then I'm like this. I can kind of project, but then that's a really bad thing. It's not just me who can do that. It's quite a lot of people that project. They project what they wish the person to be, what the relationship they wish them to be, but it isn't that in reality. So we have to like not project and just take them for who they are, and as they are, they're just no good for me at all. They can't match any of my needs. They just can't. And so it's not going to be good for me. It's just going to be heartache and pain, you know. And the fact I've got more feelings than I wish I had for them now, it's just like, oh, damn it. But in a way, it's good I know now, because then I stop seeing them and stop communication with them, so that they can't hurt me in that way, you know, and anymore, you know, because it's not good. You can't be with someone who doesn't make you feel secure and happy, and who you have feelings for like that. It's just going to end in disaster. I told them, you know, like, it'll just end up with me having tears. It'll be me who gets upset, because if that person doesn't care in the same way they just like or care about you, or don't even really like or care about you, just saying that, then it's not going to be any good, is it? But I don't know. I just feel they must have some strong feelings for me to be watching this channel all the time, and can't get me out of their head. But then, you know, the kissing's very powerful, you know? When you have your first kiss with someone, you don't ever forget it, usually. You remember it for the rest of your life, especially if it felt really good and you got a feeling like you've not had it before, and you just really good chemistry. Like, me and him were really aesthetically attracted to each other, like really full on. It's most aesthetically attracted to someone I've ever been, chemistry wise. But you can't live off aesthetic attraction. You can't live off kissing. You can't be like that in life. It's not, it's not good, like actual, you need friendship as well, if you're not friends first, the trust doesn't get built, and then it just like, I can't trust a person who 1 minute is talking to me quite a bit, the next minute doesn't even bother with me. You know what I mean? Like, I need consistency and stuff like everyone else does, really, for stability. But anyway, it's hard because, like, when I picture, like, if I did kiss him again, I want to say, I really love you. And you can't do that, not with someone who's no good for you and who doesn't feel that way, who doesn't want to commit to a relationship with you. It's just really hard when you visualize it that way, It's quite sad. Makes me upset, really upset. And so I can't see him again. So I had to end that, But it's for my own good. It's for the best, because the right guy would not make me feel like that, The right guy would never make me feel like he wants to leave my life, and he would never even want to let me go, So yeah. But anyway, there's not much I can do about it. I just have to deal with it and move on and think, yeah, at least I know sooner rather than later how I feel, and that he's no good for me. And it's really hard when you have feelings for someone, you just want to cuddle them, go, I love you, so stroke their hair, and it's kind of really hard, really, because that's not how he feels about me. And it's really difficult when someone's no good for you and you've got to that stage. It's like, I do think, how did you let that happen? And I wished it had in lots of ways, but yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just having to get over another guy again. It's like, oh god, I can do it, I do it. As a hyper romantic, hyper romantic is so difficult for me. Like, when I get feelings, they just don't go for ages, like 8 months or whatever. But it's really, really difficult, when you have feelings for someone that they don't, or they're just no good for you, It's really, really, really hard. I wish him lots of love, luck, and happiness in life. I hope he finds himself. I hope he becomes less avoidant. I hope he gets all his kissing wishes and dreams come true, and he's happy in his life. And the future's good for him, Yeah. I just have to be on my own and not with a guy who's no good for me, because I deserve better. Much better. I deserve a really good guy who'll never make me question the way he feels about me, and who wouldn't avoid, and who will be strong and know exactly what he wants, which is me, and there'll just be no question about it. I won't have to worry, and I'll be glad this guy's done me a favour, and I'll be like, yay, remember you were crying back then? You deserve better, thank you. I do deserve much better. That's why I've let him go and block him, because I can't be used for physical stuff. It's horrible. It's almost like he doesn't even feel that I have emotions, or he's emotionless towards me. Really weird, but I do know some people are like that. They're just shut down with emotions. It's very bizarre, but yeah. You did the right thing. Thank you so much. Yeah, I did the right thing. I said I'm done now. I said I can't be, I can't be like, I can't be with someone who makes my anxiety worse, basically. Be with them at all in any capacity. And I'm done now. And I'm blocking you on the email now. That's it, basically. So yeah. I explained that they hadn't even read my text, and so much for going the extra mile. But yeah, I have definitely done the right thing. Thank you so much. But yeah, I feel better that I've got it off my chest. I feel better that I've actually confessed, and I feel better that I've admitted what I feel to myself. And it doesn't matter if you love someone or have love feelings for them or whatever. If they're no good for you, they're no good for you. And you just have to move on and know that you have better coming for you. And it's much better to just stay single and enjoy your life than have someone who's going to anxiety induce you more and not know what the hell they want and give you mixed signals and just not really be very empathetic or caring or understanding, or not feel the emotions you feel in your pain, You need someone who's better than that. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate you. I always love to hear from my followers and community here. I love your name, Miniaturist. I hope I pronounced that right. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your comforting words. I really appreciate that. I feel like I'm going through a bit of a difficult time, but I'm glad, I've got a lot of the emotions out. It's good. People want to keep emotions in. That's the worst thing you can do. The more you release them and release them as quickly as possible and go through them and accept them, the quicker you get rid of the feelings that are not good for you and you can move on. So it's actually really, really healthy to admit feelings, even ones you don't want to have. It's much better. But yes, anyway, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Share it if you think it's going to help anyone to have a better life and know they deserve better. And give it a thumbs up and everything again. You're welcome. Take better care. Thank you so much. Subscribe and hit the bell icon as well if you haven't already, so you don't miss an episode when I post at weird times of the day or night. It's because my life's very interesting and quirky. But yes, and don't forget to watch my videos, my shorts videos. I do quite a lot of them. And I've just been to War of the Worlds, so you've got like in the bar, like smoke coming out of the alien and stuff like that. It's really funny. Anyway, I'm gonna love you and leave you for now. As always, take care. I'll see you soon. Next video live stream. Lots of love. And thanks for the thumbs up. Bye. Thanks for being here.